You're watching Drake Wing Gaming. Enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, and some of you know me on Twitter, The Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So y'all were telling me that the teacups were probably not a good thing, so I'm going to go back and just undo the teacup nonsense, so I want to get the best June run I can. So anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm Chan, you are up, and let's go. Alrighty, June. Let's see. There we go. I will do Carousel. Alright. Alright, let's go ahead. Do Carousel. I don't want to... Wait. Oh yeah, wait. Let me go to the options and skip scene text. Okay. Alright, so we'll just skip. June, what's going on? June? Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's what's going on. Blah. I'll text. Okay, so let's do... Okay, we'll go to the tunnel ride. Yes! Alright, wasn't there a water ride in this park? I think I remember going with Aki when the two of us were really small. Yeah, you'd get into a car that would go through a track that was filled with water. Halfway through it, you'd go inside a tunnel. It's a pretty popular ride between couples, but really, all sort of people go on this one. Plus, the cars are comfortable. The tunnel is very cool, and the feeling of water droplets splashing on you every now and then is really nice. I think I know a ride you might like to go on. Really? What is it? His excitement is adorable. Makes me want to fawn all over him. There's a water ride here in this park. You basically get inside a car, and it goes through a track filled with water. It's pretty cool and relaxing. June blinks a couple times, his lips opening up in a smile. That sounds like it could be fun. Well, for the guy that mentioned a carousel as a fun ride, I'm sure almost anything would be fun. Do you know where it is? Not really, but we can always check on a map. What's the fun in checking a map? What's the fun in getting lost? Ah! Swiftly, I cut down his free-spirited logic. This isn't the first time where June's approach had led us to getting lost somewhere, and I don't want to have that being repeated again. I find a map near one of the many rest stops and look for directions to the ride I'm looking for. Oh, it's nearby. Come on, it shouldn't take us long to get there. Yay! Even though he wanted to just walk around aimlessly looking for it, he still seems quite pleased that we found the ride. It doesn't take us long to find our way to the line. The air around the ride is already much cooler due to the huge amount of water nearby. What? It's so cool around here! I have to say, today wasn't really a super hot day by any means, but this area of the park is at such a comfortable temperature. I guess this explains why the line is so huge for this one, though. If I had to guess, I'd say that there are easily over 50 people in line to go on this ride. There's so many people. How long do you think it'll take for us to get in? I'm not sure. It looks like it might be a while. The ride isn't exactly fast to begin with. June nods, looking downcast. Heh, don't worry about it. Even if we stand in the line for a while, it's still super comfortable because of the temperature. I guess that's true. June begins humming. While he's not particularly quiet about it, he still makes sure to not bother any of the other people in line. Seeing him humming is pretty rare. I guess something must have put him on a particularly good mood. Wait, I think I recognize this tune. Is this the song he played at the cafe? I strain my ears to try and hear more details, and it definitely sounds to me like the song he played today. The one that he composed. Huh, that's true. I had some questions I wanted to ask him about the song, but I ended up being so absorbed by it at the time that I forgot. I tapped June on the shoulder to try and call his attention. What is it, Yuichi-san? The song you're humming. It's the same one you played earlier today, right? Yep, that's right. I didn't think you'd recognize it. Huh, so me knowing the song actually makes him happy. That's strange. Well, I really like the song after all. I actually had a few questions I wanted to ask you about it if it's okay with you. Sure, ask away. Well, I was just wondering. I remember you mentioning that you wanted to be a composer, but you never really told me why. You just said that you gave up on being a pianist. Oh, that. Back when I was a kid, I didn't really have many friends. Video games were my biggest friends other than the piano. They just take me to other worlds where I would just become a different person from who I really am. One second, y'all. Water time. Get off my desk, hair. You're not welcome here, hair. Okay. It sounds really cheesy, doesn't it? Not at all. Honestly, it's not much different from people who enjoy to read. Kaken is always saying that he likes books that take him away. I guess in the end, the music was always a big part of why I liked them. The way it could perfectly show you the character's feelings and emotions, the way it would touch the heart. I just decided that, since I couldn't be a pianist, that I wanted to be a composer and work with video games. I wanted other kids to be able to experience the same things that I did with games, and I wanted my songs to be part of it. Oh, that's really cute, actually. Really? You don't think it's lame or anything like that? Lame? Why would I think it's lame? People hardly ever have super deep reasons for wanting to do something. We just kind of do them. Really? What's your reason for wanting to be a tennis player, then? That's... this awkward conversation again. At this point, I don't mind answering this question, but people always respond the same way when I do. My dad taught me tennis when I was little. It was his favorite sport, and he played competitively when he was in high school, although he stopped when he got into college. That's kind of neat. My dad never really taught me anything like that I liked. Then, June blinks multiple times as if he just realized something. He cocks his head to the side, confused. You said before that your dad wasn't around. Why? If you don't mind me asking, why did he leave you guys? And here comes the awkward part. I sigh, rubbing the bridge of my nose. Nope. My dad died when I was a kid. 1 week after teaching me how to play tennis and 1 month before Aki was born. Immediately, June froze. I could picture the cogs running in his head, trying to understand what I just told him. Honestly, I don't blame him. Not many people know about my father in the first place. Him dying and Aki being born were the reason we moved away from my hometown and into Saitama in the first place. Dead? You mean... He died in a car accident when I was 6. He had been overworking himself and taking too many shifts to save up money for when Aki was born. He was tired and didn't pay enough attention before crossing the street. He got hit by a car and... Do I really have to say it? Suddenly the mood becomes super awkward. For a few seconds, all that I can hear is the sound of the other people around us chatting excitedly. Meanwhile, it's as if June and I had suddenly been covered by a shroud. The comfortable, cool air suddenly became much colder and uncomfortable. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, I shouldn't have... I put a hand on his shoulder, getting him to look at me once again. Listen to me. This stuff is in the past, okay? Sure, it sucks, and yeah, I do wish my dad were still here, but really, you don't have to apologize. You couldn't have known, and this kind of stuff doesn't really bother me. And I'm not like Aki anyway. I at least got to meet my dad. He wasn't so lucky. It's why I've always made sure to take good care of him, so he'd have a male role model to look up to. June nods, looking down at his feet. Now I've done it. I've driven the final nail to the coffin of what was up to now a pleasant conversation. Sorry, maybe I should have just changed the subject? June shakes his head sideways, a very conflicted expression on his face. No, of course not. I was just surprised. I shouldn't have asked. I didn't know it was a sensitive subject. I give him a few taps on the back, trying to get his attention. Once he looks up, I make sure to give him a big smile. It's not a sensitive subject, and you didn't do anything wrong. We haven't known each other all that long, so it stands to reason that we wouldn't know each other all that well. And if we don't ask, we'll never really know we'll never really get to know anything about one another. Isn't that right? I'm sure we've all had bad experiences in our lives, but that doesn't mean we should never talk about it. I guess that's true. I'm still sorry to have brought it up. I make an over-exaggerated waving gesture with my hand, as if I were driving away imaginary smoke. Nonsense, I'm the one who's sorry for ruining the mood. What do you say? Can we just continue to have fun, or will we let this little hiccup ruin the rest of the day for us? I guess so. Yep, let's continue to have fun. That's the spirit. Luckily, just as we finish that conversation, the next car arrives, and it's finally our turn to board the ride. Oh, cool! There's 4 seats. Want to share the two in front of me? Sure. No reason for each of us to go on a separate row anyway. June nods and we board the car. Oh boy, that was an awkward conversation. Wow, these seats are pretty comfortable. I would hope so. You gotta stay in these for a while. They better be comfortable. True enough. Well, good to see he's still keeping his cheer. I was worried he'd be bummed out by my story. Some water just splashed on me. Well, this is a water ride after all. Despite how tense the mood had gotten before, we were able to enjoy the ride without further issues. That was really nice. The cool air inside the tunnel was so relaxing. Yeah, although I could have done with a little less water splashing on us. Well, it was a water ride. Didn't I just say that to you a few minutes ago? Well, I'm just glad the mood isn't weird anymore. Let's see, what should we do next? Oh! Ah! June literally yells out as I'm thinking of our next ride, completely catching me off guard and making me yelp. Hey, Iwichi-san, you shouldn't be so loud in public. It'll make other people think you're weird. You're the last person I want to hear that from. What's that supposed to mean? How can someone lack so much self-awareness? I sigh, rubbing the bridge of my nose to soothe myself. Nothing. It means nothing. Anyway, why did you just suddenly yell out like that? Oh, right, I had an idea. An idea? Well, what idea? June starts rummaging through his pockets and pulls out what looks like a piece of paper, shoving it against my face. Tikaram! Tikaram? Ignoring the weird sound effect he just tried to make, I grab the piece of paper he's extended to me and hold it a little farther away from my eyes so I can see it better. Wait, this is a photo? Yeah, look how pretty it is. It's actually a photo of the night view from a Ferris wheel. And this photo is supposed to mean something to me? Well, it's just that we only have one ticket left and I suddenly remembered this. Actually, I wanted to go on the Ferris wheel from the beginning, but I guess I was having so much fun that I forgot about it until now. A Ferris wheel, huh? That certainly does sound like it could be fun. It's almost night, too, so we could possibly get a similar view from it. Wait, it is? You didn't notice the sky getting darker? Huh, it has? June looks up at the sky. It's true! The sun's already setting! Yeah, it won't be long before the stars come out. Possibly just 20 minutes or so. That's great, then! We could go on the Ferris wheel under the moon and stars! That's so cool! Is it really that cool? June nods excitedly. Yeah, it is! This is awesome! If you say so. I don't have anything against Ferris wheels, but I never really found them that interesting to begin with. Well, if you want to go, then I guess this is our next stop, then. At least now I don't have to keep racking my brain looking for ideas of rides we can go on that would please him. So, you know, double win. Let's go get in line! Without giving me time to react, June starts tugging on my arm and dragging me away. What? Hey, come on, June, you don't even know where the line is. It's alright, we'll certainly find our way. Not this again! This wouldn't be the first time I've heard these words and ended up getting lost. Despite how a Ferris wheel is giant by nature, June still manages to find a way to get us lost in the park. I really thought we'd get there if we turned to the left on the intersection. Are you still on that? It's almost been half an hour. Suck it up already. Ah! In the end, it took us quite a bit of time to find our way into the Ferris wheel waiting line. At this point, the sun has already set completely. I really wish there were more stars in the sky tonight. Just be glad it's not raining. So I'm not allowed to complain just because maybe it could have been worse? That's right. So unfair. He tries to glare at me, but his face is more comical than threatening. I can't help but find it amusing. Sorry, June, I'm trying to take you seriously, but I just can't. Good thing we're almost to the other end of the line. Yeah, I was afraid the line was going to be bigger now that it's nighttime. Well, certainly one of the toys with the most people lining up, that's for sure. Although I'm slightly concerned by the fact that almost all the people on the line here are couples. Ferris wheel plus night view equals romantic? Ugh, I'm starting to feel a little awkward about this. Hey, June, just how much were you looking forward to going on the Ferris wheel? I mean, it or any other ride, isn't it really all just the same to you? Not really. I've been looking forward to going on a Ferris wheel since I was a little kid. Ah! Guess I have no choice. Can't back away from this after he said this much. No, wait, why do I even care in the first place? I'm just a guy going on a ride with his friends who is also a guy. I mean, nothing weird about it. We're both guys, right? No, somehow it still doesn't sit right with me. I can't let him notice that I'm feeling a little uncomfortable about it. Oh, hey, it's our turn in the Ferris wheel already. Oh, right. I kept moving along with the line. I didn't even notice we were the next ones. We step into the gondola and it shakes slightly upon receiving our weight. Luckily enough, the gondola is quite spacious. June and I both sit on opposite ends of it. The walls have big glass windows to allow us to see outside without any risk of falling. Once the door closes, the Ferris wheel begins moving again, carrying us up. Ah! It's shaking! Our gondola is shaking! June grabs onto the rails of the gondola, looking down at the floor with a pale face. Don't worry, it's normal for it to shake. Just stay still in your seat and it won't shake as much. Okay. He sits upright on his seat, leaning his back against the cushioned wall of the gondola and looking out the window. Wow! The view from up here is amazing! I follow his gaze and look outside. Wow, you're right. It really is beautiful. As we reach the highest point of the Ferris wheel, we are allowed to look down at the crowd, seeing all the park and parts of the town from a distance. With all the lights on in the night sky above, we see a giant array of colors painting the horizon. Some of the lights stay on all the time, others blink at long intervals, others twinkle rapidly. The show of lights and colors is captivating. If only the sky had more stars, then this would be a perfect view. This is even better than I thought it'd be. From the corner of my eye, I see June pressing himself up against the window. It's a sight that warms my heart. I agree. I'm really glad you decided to take the Ferris wheel, June. Because to be honest, I hadn't even thought about it. Heh, thanks. I'm just happy you didn't say no. Why would I say no? Not that I was tempted to, but I really thought this could end up being awkward. But after getting here with him, I see now that was being ridiculous. There's nothing awkward about this. I don't know. We went to all these rides that you don't really find all that fun. I was fully expecting you to say no at the end and go ride the roller coaster or something of the sorts. I wouldn't just abandon you in the park. I guess I was just imagining things. The Ferris wheel continues to spin very slowly, shifting our view all the same. Every time it moves, we see a new light that we couldn't from another angle. Some lights fade away into the horizon, others become bigger and brighter. It's like watching a painting, one that is always moving and shifting, never really staying the same. The people all look really small from the top. Yeah, this Ferris wheel is really tall after all. Really tall after all. Don't you think it really puts things into perspective? What do you mean? Like, from up here, everyone looks so small. Can you imagine just how small their problems would be when we see them from a distance? Are you trying to go with a cliched line like, our problems are so small in the grand scheme of things? I guess I'm not nearly as mysterious or as philosophical as I think myself to be. Despite this, he looks so happy right now. No, he looks happy all the time. Even if he says he's always worried about his own problems, he still manages to always look happy and cheerful. How do you do it? Huh? Do what? June's attention snaps back to me, making him stare at me in curiosity. You told me you're constantly struggling with everything around you, right? Like your problems are always weighing you down in your mind. He nods, still looking confused. And yet you almost always have a smile on your face. It's hard for me to imagine you struggling with anything because you always look so happy. Ah. Aww. Oh, we're getting a picture. June begins scratching his cheek, looking away awkwardly. Well, it's just that I'm used to it, compared to how things were before. This is really nothing. There was a time when things were really hard for me, but I found out that if I complained about it, all I did was make the people who care about me worry. They knew they couldn't do anything to help me, but they didn't want to see me hurting and struggling. So in the end, all I did was burden them even further. So I just decided to smile whenever I was feeling particularly sad. If I could at least keep everyone I care about from having to worry about me, then I wouldn't feel like such a burden. I guess after a while I just got used to it. I still get sad, but I always try to smile. Because I don't want anyone to worry about me. Although he smiled like he always did when he said those words, for the first time I noticed. Even if he was smiling, his face was strained. His mouth wasn't open as wide as usual. His eyebrows were furrowed. His eyes were creased. Oh, man. I never really stopped to pay attention to it. Has he been smiling like this for us and I just didn't notice it? I don't want to see him make these kinds of expressions. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Leave a super thanks or a tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!